What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Baseball Now podcast. I'm your host, Mason Braggins. As always, it's just me today. No Steven again. He had something come up. I think he's away from his place of recording this week. So it is just me this week. So might end up being a little shorter of an episode. I do want to come out first and foremost say sorry for missing last week. It was another unfortunately busy week for me and Steven. We were just unable to work out a time to get our schedules aligned and record an episode for last week. But we're back, so we got a couple weeks to recap here. Got a lot to talk about today, so we're just going to jump right in. We're going to start with the power rankings. We'll start from the bottom and we'll work our way up. This week's power rankings is a little bit bonkers, if you ask me. A couple of those NL Central teams we saw from 2 weeks ago at this point now have fallen out of the top 10. And it looks like really only one new team has joined the top 10. A couple teams coming back into the top 10 after missing it 2 weeks ago. So coming in at spot number 10 are the Athletics, which is ridiculous. Who would have thought the Athletics, the 10th spot for the power rankings? They're 21 and 19 right now. And this team is a very, very surprising team. I mean, if we just go back, we'll go back a couple series here. Won a series against the Rangers, won the series against the Royals. The Guardians beat them. Then they lost against the Phillies, but then won a series against the Orioles. They start I think a 3-game homestand against the Cards tomorrow. But this team is something else. You have Shea Langeliers batting 336 for them right now. He also has 11 homers. He has 22 RBIs, 14 walks. This guy is incredible. Nick Kurtz, I think waking up a little bit more at the plate. He's got a 259 with a 414 OBP, a 427 slugging, and an 841 OPS. Nick Kurtz also with 5 homers and 38 walks. Ridiculous. I think that's gotta be one of the highest in the league right now. If we go to, let's see, we'll go player, MLB, player batting. We're going to sort by walks. Yeah, Nick Kurtz has the second most walks in the league right now. He has 38 of them. The only person above him is Taylor Ward of the Orioles, who has 40 walks on the season. So Nick Kurtz putting up great stuff for the Athletics. Langoliers, like I said, as well. Jacob Wilson also coming back a little bit. I think he had a slump, or he's been in a slump for the past couple weeks. Same thing with Soderstrom. He finally has an above 200 average, so hopefully he's waking up a little bit. And 2 weeks ago, my dad and I, we talked about Jeff McNeil. He is still batting like prime Jeff McNeil. He has a 283 right now. He has only one home run in the season, but he has 12 RBIs and 34 hits. So McNeil doing really good stuff for this Athletics team. And I mean, they're pitchers as well. They don't have outstanding ERAs by any means. I mean, the best from any of their starters is, it looks like a 259 from Aaron Savale, who also has the most wins on the team. But overall, I mean, I think it's definitely, I think it's a combination really of everybody on the team. I think there are a lot of teams in the league right now where we really see, the pitching doing all the work or the batters doing all the work. This Athletics team, I think, is really both. There are some players on both offense and defense who are hit and miss. There are a lot of players who are playing fantastic baseball on both sides of the diamond right now. Yeah, their pitchers, I mean, they have a combined team ERA of 442, so not outstanding by any means, in 321 strikeouts from the squad. So again, not fantastic, but it's keeping them in the place. So crazy to think that I'm talking about the Athletics as it relates to power rankings. I never never thought that would ever happen. Into the 9th spot now are the Pirates. They're staying in the top 10 after an appearance 2 weeks ago, I believe. They're 22 and 19 right now. They have a run differential of plus 31. Finally, some run support for the Cy Young pitcher Paul Skeens. I mean, and they're so hit and miss, it feels like. I mean, just looking at their stat, I mean, they swept the Reds, who were at one point one of the best teams in MLB. A couple weeks ago, I think the Reds, I mean, had a pretty bad losing streak uh, last week. But the Pirates, I mean, they lost 4 games to the Cardinals in a row. But then they swept the Reds, like I said. Then they won a series against the Diamondbacks, but then lost a series to the Giants. So I don't know. This team is kind of a little bit all over the place, I will say. But they're getting done. A lot of their players have above 225 ERAs. Sorry, 225 averages. O'Neal Cruz, Brian Reynolds, Ryan O'Hearn, Nick Gonzalez, Brandon Lowe, all batting above 225. Connor Griffin as well. Spencer Horwitz also batting above 225. I mean, these guys are great. The total team combined for a total of 44 homers and 355 hits with a team average of 249. So, I mean, these guys are putting in the work. They're pitchers as well. I mean, Paul Skeens, obviously, one of the best pitchers in Major League Baseball right now, still is, despite the fact that he has a 236 ERA. That's not the best ERA in the league. That's, in fact, I think that's barely into the top 10. I can't remember. My dad and I were talking about it the other day. But through 42 innings of work, Paul Skeens putting up 236. He has 46 strikeouts, only 7 walks. That just shows how dominant of a pitcher he still is. And glad to see that he has 5 wins on the season out of, I think, what is it? 7 starts, I believe, is what that is. 8 starts, I'm sorry. He didn't qualify for a win in one game. But 5-2 is his record as a pitcher, so glad to see that he has a winning record as a pitcher for the Pirates, because that has been a struggle for the Pirates, is getting their Cy Young All-Star pitcher wins. So glad to see that this team has been playing some absolutely incredible baseball right now. So shout outs to the Pirates for surprising all of us, really, I think is what it is. In 8th place are the Cardinals. Like I mentioned, the Pirates got swept by them a couple of weeks ago. But this team, they have been a surprising team. I definitely thought, especially losing Nolan Arenado, they would become a significantly worse team than they already were. But this team has put up some big numbers over the past couple of weeks. I don't know how they do it. I think they're another team where it's like, they're sometimes good against, the best teams in baseball from last year, and they're terrible against some of the worst teams. They're just so hit and miss, it feels like. But their team, they got a team average of 235 with a total of 315 hits, 337 strikeouts for the total squad there. I mean, Alec Burleson, J.J. Weatherholt, Jordan Walker, who would have thought Jordan Walker resurgence here. This guy's batting 299 at 377 OBP, 578 slugging, and a 955 OPS. Jordan Walker is getting it done for the Cardinals. It's incredible. Ivan Herrera as well, a 262, 407, 421, 827 on that stat line. Their young shortstop Mason Wynn also batting well. He's batting above 250 with a 680 OPS. So very good. Looking at their pitching here, a combined team ERA, this does include all the relief pitchers as well, a 425 team ERA with 291 strikeouts. They've given up 42 home runs, which is crazy to think about, but only one of their starters, Michael McGreevy, has below a 3 ERA right now. All other starters for the Cardinals have above a 4 ERA. So McGreevy kind of seems to be the best right now. Now, he doesn't have the most wins. That's because he hasn't qualified for all of the wins. He's 3-2 out of 8 games. Yeah, I'm a little bit sad to see Dustin May. Love that guy, former Dodger, posting a 4.85 ERA with 32 strikeouts, a K9 ratio of 6.8. So not incredible stuff from Dustin May than I think as a Dustin May fan I would like to see. But glad to see that he finally has a place to play instead of just sitting in the IL spot here in LA. But yeah, this Cardinals team is another one of those teams shocking, and we're going to have to watch out for them in the coming weeks as we get towards the back half of the season, see if they can hold up their spot. Now, this placing shocks me. The Padres in 7th. I think the main reason why they're here, they had kind of like a rough losing streak over their last 10. They are 5-5, so an even split. But even as a Dodgers fan, I think the Dodgers are, at least right now over this past week, I think the Dodgers are worse than the Padres. I'm gonna be honest. I hate to say it. It sucks to say, but the Dodgers are 4-6 over their last 10. Again, compared to the Padres 5-5. But I mean, they both have the same record. The Padres only have a +3 run differential, but I think that's probably really the only reason why they aren't in the top five is kind of that run differential spot, and then going 5-5. Once we get up the list, we'll talk about I think something that I think is wrong with the people who are ranking them. But I mean, their team only has an average of 223, so they aren't batting too well. Tatis is not having an incredible year right now. He still has 0 home runs, and we are over 40 games into this season. Like exactly 41 games, and Tatis still has 0 homers. So kind of shocking. Jackson Merrill is not batting much better. Yes, he has 4 homers, but has a worse average than Tatis. Xander Bogaerts seems to be the guy who has been making it happen for this team. He has a 2.68 ERA with a 3.42 OBP, 4.37 slugging, and a 7.78 OPS. He has 7 homers, 23 RBIs. He has a total base count of 62. He has 38 total hits. Like, this guy is making it happen for this team. So, a little shocking from the guys that we would expect to be playing well, playing out of their minds, but Bogaerts is making it happen for this team. And I mean, we can't talk about the Padres and not talk about Mason Miller. A .96 ERA. He gave up his first couple runs a couple of nights ago. Unfortunately, I think a lot of people, even if you weren't a Padres fan, I think you're definitely looking forward to this guy having one of the best relief pitcher seasons of all time. This guy is ridiculous. Again, he's only given up 2 earned runs across how many games? 18 appearances this season. He's only allowed 7 hits. He has 38 strikeouts for a reliever. That is a K9 ratio of 18.3, one of the highest in Major League Baseball right now, I'm pretty sure. He has 12 saves on this season, which is ridiculous, and then he has 1 win as well. So, I don't know, this guy, Mason Miller, is ridiculous. You don't have to put him in a scenario where it's like, yes, you put him in the safe situation, but you don't have to put him in like those stressful hold situations. It's like a tie ball game in the 8th inning, and you need him to just get out of the inning. It's like that guy is Jason Adam, who is 7 holds on the season, splitting time with, I guess, Kyle Hart, who also has 4. Jeremiah Estrada has 5 holds, but Mason Miller just comes in and shuts it down in that 9th inning. Again, I mean, he's only played 18.2, so he's pitched just over a little bit of an inning per game, but still doing incredible work for this team. And Michael King having himself a great season for the Padres, a 2.76 ERA with 45 strikeouts, 8.9 is his K9 ratio, so really good up there. But that's really the only like dominant pitcher. Randy Vasquez has a 3.05. Walker Buehler, a former Dodger as well, 5.2. Sad to see him not pitching great, but again, just like Dustin May, he spent a lot of his time on the injured list with the Dodgers. Yes, he did have the save in the 2024 World Series Game 5, but he got injured right after that, had to get surgery again. He didn't play the 2025 season, at least not too much, and that's because, one, I think the Dodgers had gotten a lot of other pitchers or had other arms, so decided to move on from Walker Buehler, and because of the injury history, we're looking for someone who had a fresh arm there, and he bounced between, or he was only in 2 organizations last year, but only played just a couple of games last season, so I hope that he has a good year, kind of brings it back, bounce it back. Walker Buehler's given up 21 runs this season. Just as a Walker Buehler fan who was a former Dodger, I want to see him playing well, but that 5.20 ERA looking a little nasty. And German Marquez as well, a former Rocky, has a 5.76 ERA, so kind of similar stuff that he was throwing out in Colorado. Not great stuff from German Marquez, but we'll see what the Padres can do. Once again, they are a very scary team. If they continue, they might be the best team in the National League West. I hate to say that as a Dodgers fan, but we'll talk about that once we get to the Dodgers. But in that 6th spot of the power rankings this week, are the Brewers, who have kind of stayed in the top 10 over the past couple weeks. They are 22-16 right now. They had a rocky start to the season, but they've kind of brought it back. They're on a win streak of 4. They're 7-3 over their last 10. This Brewers team, I think, is starting to wake up a little bit, even without Freddie Peralta, who they gave to the Mets. This team is definitely waking up a little bit. I mean, William Contreras batting almost 300. Same thing with Bryce Terang, also batting almost 300. Jake Bauers batting 258. Sal Frelick not having an incredible season, but still batting 214. Those are like the big names that have been batting very well for this team. Again, William Contreras, one of the best catchers in the league, both on offense and on defense. And I mean, they're pitching. Mizorowski, 2.45 ERA with 70 strikeouts, a K9 ratio of 14.3. One of the highest for a starter, I believe. He has a 3-2 record. So I think that kind of just comes from, you know, probably just the bullpen giving up a couple runs here in his 8 starts. But Mizorowski looking phenomenal this season. The other pitchers also doing pretty okay outside of Sproat. Chad Patrick is a 3.15 ERA. Kyle Harrison a 2.41. Woodruff has a 3.60, so not amazing, but still solid, you could say. But I think that's Sproat batting 2.50. Oh, sorry, 5.87. His ERA is a team ERA of 3.43 with 366 strikeouts. This team, I haven't been watching too much. I don't really know too much about this team, how they've been doing. But again, they seem to be one of the best teams in the NL Central, if not the best team, heading into as we get a little bit closer to the All-Star break. So again, another one of those teams to be watching as we get closer there. Now to the top 5 of power rankings. This is kind of where it gets dicey and where I will start to disagree with this list a lot. The Rays in 5th, which glad to see the Rays in that top 5 spot, but I will say that I don't know. They're 8-2 over their last 10. The Yankees are 6-4. The Yankees are 4 spots. We can kind of talk about them combined. And the Rays have actually played 2 less games than the Yankees, which is why they're first in the division. So still a little on like what you could say there. But if we take a look, I think someone commented, what is it? Um, the Rays are in first place, have swept the Yankees, and have won 14 of 16. How are the Yankees ahead? I'm going to agree with, I think it's actually from Bartolo's Memes, the Instagram account. Now, I'm going to agree with him on this, where I think the Rays should definitely be above the Yankees in the power rankings here. The Rays are incredible. They had a rough stretch a couple weeks ago, but they're back to their early season glory. Chandler Simpson batting 305. Junior Camarino batting 252. Yandy Diaz a 314. I think this is one of the best seasons that Yandy Diaz has had. Jonathan Aranda a 268. Some good stuff. Ben Williamson 264. Nick Fortes a 283. A team average of 254. One of the better ones in the majors right now. This team is really good. They have 32 home runs and 160 RBIs. Incredible. And their pitching as well, just as dominant. Nick Martinez, a 170 ERA with 31 strikeouts. Drew Rasmussen, a 295, so hanging almost at that 3 area. Shane McClanahan, didn't know this guy was still playing ball, but he is. He's got a 260 ERA with 34 strikeouts on the season. And then their other starter, Steve Matz, a little bit worse, a 386 ERA, but with 28 strikeouts. So overall, the starters sharing a pretty solid load. They have a combined, 14 wins on the season for all the starters. I think a couple of these relief pitchers, I want to say they have a bullpen game like locked in somewhere on the rotation, it looks like. Yeah, because they have Jesse Schultz, a relief pitcher who's started 2 games, and Sulcer started 1. Griffin Jackson started 3. Mason Englert started 1, and Joe Boyle started 3. So I think they definitely have a bullpen game worked in there with a 4-man rotation. Now, I'm not entirely sure why that is. We can take a peek at that injured list. Yeah, it looks like, I mean, Joe Boyle is on that IL right now. Steve Matt's also on the IL. In fact, a lot of Rays players are on this on the IL. A lot of pitchers, actually. There's only one position player on the injured list right now. Pepio is on the IL. I think that would be their fifth man on the rotation right now. So the Rays, I think, kind of with a little bit of, or a lot of bit of injuries on their pitching staff, have been thrown in quite a few bullpen games. Again, Steve Matz on that IL, one of their starters, as well as Joe Boyle. I think I said him in the game started, but he's a starting pitcher. He has a 5.17 ERA, but he's only started and played in 3 games because of that injury. So Rays hoping to keep the dominance up, I guess, despite the fact they have a couple pitchers injured. And maybe once they get those back, they'll be even more dominant. The Yankees up in that 4 spot, like we said, are looking like the 2024 Yankees again. I mean, a 239 team average. The only guy, well, guys, really, I think there are quite a few who aren't batting too well. You got Jazz Chisholm, who, I don't know, one of the biggest knuckleheads in the league right now. Um, I don't know if this guy's really. I don't know if this guy really knows what he's doing, but he's batting 207 with only 14 RBIs, not doing much for the team. Trent Grisham as well, a 178 batting average, kind of shocking as well. McMahon, he's picking things up a little bit. Came from the Rockies last season. He's batting 218 with 13 RBIs. He's 3 homers on the season. Austin Wells, still classic Austin Wells, batting 183. Yeah, so really, I mean, this team is incredible. Aaron Judge has played every single game this season. He hasn't missed a game. Played all 41 this season. He's got a 2.6 WAR. Cody Bellinger, a 2.5 WAR, also incredible. This team is their bats are really hot, and I think they're going to stay that way for a long time. And I mean, their pitching as well. Oh my goodness! I mean, how do they do it? How do they do it? Max Fried has started 9 games this season. He has a 2.91 ERA with 48 strikeouts. Cam Schlittler, 1.35 ERA with 59 strikeouts. Will Warren, a 346 with 53 strikeouts. Ryan Weathers, a 303 with 45 strikeouts. And then it looks like Luis Gil, who has started only 4 games. He might be on the IL right now, but a 605, so not too hot. Their other starting pitcher, Elmer Rodriguez, also has only started 2, so he might have also hit the IL. I'm not sure. Carlos Rondon just came back from the IL and didn't have too great of a first start. He only went 4.1 innings, gave up 3 runs for a 6.23 ERA. But we can take a look at that injured list. See, yeah, I mean they have Garrett Cole too. This guy's on the IL still. Giancarlo Stanton is one of their best hitters if you just look at it, but he is also on the IL. Clark Schmidt on the IL and Angel Shavili also on the IL. So not too many injuries for the Yankees, which I think is why they're staying so hot. They got a lot. They're guys who are hot are staying hot, and they aren't injured too much. So I think that's why the Yankees are staying up in that 4 spot. In the 3 spot, the Dodgers. I'm gonna say it. I think the Dodgers should be lower than 3. I think they had a terrible stretch of games. They're 4-6 over their last 10. I mean, I can't, as a Dodgers fan, I can't believe it. Yes, the Braves are one of the best teams in baseball, but how did we drop 2 games to them? Like, come on now. 2 straight 7-2 losses. That's 2 blowout wins in a row. And that's our second blowout loss. No, sorry. That's our third blowout loss in May when we didn't have any the entire season. Yes, we won a series against Astros, but that Cards series shouldn't have lost to the Cards. Lost a series to the Marlins. It's brutal. Our first series against the Giants, lost that series too. And I mean, I don't know. As a Dodgers fan, this sucks to see. Like, I can't believe we're playing this. Andy Paw is still the best batter on the team right now, despite the fact he's been a little cold at the plate as of late. However, he does still have a 333 average, 375 OBP, 571 slugging, and a 946 OPS with a 2.8 WAR. So Andy Paw is still getting it done for the team. Freeman as well, 267. Kyle Tucker finally finding his rhythm, batting 248 right now with 4 homers and 20 RBIs. So Tucker finally finding his place. Ohtani, he's batting 241, but I don't know. he's had a couple hits, I think, over the past couple games, but he had that one stretch. I think last week he was 0 for 16 or something like that. Man, we need Otani back desperately. Max Muncy has been putting the long ball in play for the Dodgers. He has the most home runs on the team. He's got 10 of them. 273 batting average. Hernandez batting 238. Will Smith 261 with 3 homers. And I mean, with I don't know, there are a lot of decisions that Dave Roberts has made that I'm like, with like who's starting. I mean, Santiago Espinal, this guy's not good. I think there are there were better utility players that this team has if we want someone to play middle infield or play third base, but I don't think we should be starting Espinal when we have someone like Hae-Sung Kim right now who's trying to play that shortstop position while Mookie Betts is on the IL. And Mookie Betts is actually coming back today. So some changes are going to be happening. I really hope that we get rid of Espinal. I don't think he is a great player. Sure, he's made a couple great defensive plays, and I mean, he has 2 RBIs on the season, but he's not really doing a whole lot for the team with the time that he has spent with the team in the majors. So glad to see that Mookie's coming back tonight to start against the Giants. Hopefully his bat will get hot. Mookie Betts in the 8 games that he played before he hit the IL, I believe I think an oblique injury. He was only batting 179, so not amazing. So hopefully he comes back. And I mean, our Dodgers pitching is still incredible. Um, the man, I don't know where to start with this team. It's so the pitching is still great. I mean, yes, there have been a couple shaky starts from a few of our pitchers, but I mean, Shohei Ohtani, 6 for 6 on quality starts. Like through 37 innings, he's only given up 4 earned runs and 2 homers with a .97 ERA. That's like the second best for a starter in the majors right now, or the first best. I don't know. So I don't know why Shohei Ohtani is not in Cy Young talks right now, because he should be. Again, he has a .97 ERA. He has a .81 WHIP, a 1.5 WAR as a pitcher. He has 42 strikeouts, which is a K9 rate of 10.2. He's only given up 9 walks, and again, only 4 runs and 21 hits. So like, he is putting in some excellent work. I think a lot of our other pitchers have given up runs through the walks. I think is kind of what we're seeing from a couple other pitchers, at least as of rate. Yamamoto had a pretty rough start out in Houston in his last start. Yamamoto now up to 3.09 ERA. Hopefully he's able to find the plate. I think Joe Davis and Oral Hershiser, the TV announcers for Sportsnet LA, were commenting on this during that game, saying how Yamamoto kind of maybe an accidental adjustment, but had started just throwing more across the plate with, I believe, his splitter it was. So it was starting in the zone and ending outside, whereas previously, and he kind of got it together in that game. It was starting on the outside of the plate as a right-handed pitcher and then working back into the zone. So hopefully Yamamoto just working through a couple, I guess a bump you could say. I mean, Robleski, also great. He had a rough start yesterday, gave up 7 runs, and almost finished the whole game. I don't know why Dave Roberts kept him in the whole game. He pitched exactly 100 pitches. But Robo, with those 7 runs, now is up to 2.42 ERA with 22 strikeouts. So he's definitely not a strikeout pitcher, but Robleski definitely gets the ball in play. I mean, there are still guys who I don't want to see starting. Sheen and Sasaki. I mean, I know how desperately we want Sasaki to start, or at least Dave Roberts wants Sasaki to start, but he has only had 1 quality start this season through 6 starts. He has the 5.97 ERA. He's only struck out 26, given up 15 walks, 19 earned runs. That's the most on the team for a pitcher across the whole season. So, I don't know. Sasaki is looking very, very, very shaky still, and Blake Snell came back from the IL the other day. It was a rough start for him. Has a 12 ERA after giving up 4 earned runs through 3 innings. So, not incredible. Yes, he did strike out 5, so I think the strikeouts in that one game very productive. But Definitely need to see those hits come down as well. I mean, and all of those hits just came off of, or all of those runs just came off of hits coming out of the infield. He gave up 6 hits through those 3 innings for Blake Snell. But hopefully, I don't know, the Dodgers are looking like late 2025 Dodgers again, where kind of a lot of pieces missing everywhere. Right now, it feels like a lot of just lost confidence, and I don't know why. So hopefully the Dodgers can lock it in, sweep the Giants. I think that would really boost the team. I think really even just the win tonight, um, again, still at home, would boost the team. The commentators for the Dodgers talking about it yesterday, where it's just like you can feel the energy like leaving Dodgers Stadium when the Dodgers are not playing well. And I think that's true for a lot or most, if not all, home stadiums in the league, but especially in Dodger Stadium. Dodger Stadium is definitely um like probably one of the most high energy ballparks out there just because of the fan base that exists around this powerhouse of a team. So when the team is losing, it sucks. It doesn't feel good. You can't really feel like you're cheering on the team when no one's hitting well, no one's pitching well. But hopefully the Dodgers lock in, and I don't think they deserve the 3 spot in the power rankings this week. So hopefully they can prove why they have that 3 spot. Otherwise, this just looks like some just straight up Dodgers glaze from MLB again. Into the 2 spot, and this is one I disagree with the most. The Braves in the 2 spot. I don't know how the Braves are not number one in the power rankings. Took 2 against the Dodgers, unfortunately. Sucked to see that 2 blowout wins against the Dodgers, but this team is ridiculous. What we got into yesterday's game, Dodgers and Braves. It was the bottom of the 9th inning, and we're facing kind of like the bottom of the order. Robleski, Yastrzemski is up to bat, and I'm like, okay, we can get this guy out. And I forget where he hits in the batting order, but all the guys before, I'm like, oh yeah, it's like it's the 6 hitter. He's probably not that good. Everybody has like an above 250 average on this team. It's ridiculous. The only person who has started a lot of games, Yastrzemski is the only player for this team who does not have an above 250 batting average for players who've played over 30 games. Everybody else, 297 from Baldwin, 306 from Albies, 296 from Olson, Austin Riley as well, 213 from Austin Riley, 217 for Dubon, 313 for Harris II, 252 for Acuna. Then Dominic Smith, one of their other first basemen, 329. Like, what? I don't get it. This team is ridiculous after a pretty terrible season last season compared to their 2024 season. I don't know where this team came from. It is scary. And they picked up oh my gosh, sorry. They got Robert Suarez in the offseason, who has a .53 ERA, 16 strikeouts through 17 innings of work. He has 4 saves on the season. Suarez, ridiculous this season. Their starting pitchers, Bryce Elder, a 181 ERA with 53 strikeouts. And Chris Sale, can't believe this guy is still cruising along for the Braves. He is... How old is this guy? He's 37 years old and is still posting a 220 ERA and the big 26. 56 strikeouts for Sale through 49 innings of work. I don't know how he does it. Grant Holmes, probably, I think, their worst starting pitcher. He has a 434. Martin Perez, a 238. Like, these guys are crazy. And their bullpen as well. Yes, they have Suarez, but they also have Rafael Iglesias. They have Tyler Kinley. Like, these guys are crazy. These guys are ridiculous. This team, I think, deserves to be the number 1 team in the MLB on power rankings. They're just so incredibly dominant. I don't know how they do that. But the team that does have the number 1 spot this week is the Cubs, who are 27-14, 1 game worse than the Braves. I mean, yes, the Cubs are looking incredible. I think especially after a rough start to the very beginning of the season, but this team is starting to wake up. Horner batting 278, Bregman 233, PCA 245, Bush 238, sorry, Ian Happ at 233. Like, these guys are getting it done. 51 home runs and 198 RBIs for the Cubs this season. And then their pitchers as well. Let's take a look here. A team combined of 381, yes, including the bullpen. The Shota Imanaga, I think, after a couple of rough starts, uh, boasting a 2.28 ERA. That's a really good ERA. He has 53 strikeouts. Uh, but all their other starters, I'm going to be honest, really aren't doing too much. Uh, Edward Cabrera, a 3.88 ERA. Jameson Talion, a 3.94 ERA. Colin Ray, 4.03 ERA. But I mean, these guys are getting it done. They have a lot of strikeouts through a lot of innings of work. Yes, they've given up a lot of hits, 309 of them. They've given up 155 earned runs to the teams. So, yeah, I don't. This team is definitely they're looking hot, and I think it's really all due to their bats just being able to, when they get into a pickle, the bats like, oh yeah, we want to win this game, and just boom, boom, boom. Yeah, so definitely seeing that from this Cubs team. So that's the power rankings this week. In other news, I mean, man, Tarek Schoolball, I think last week, we didn't have an episode last week, but hit the IL with elbow loose bodies. In case you don't know what that injury is, I looked it up because Edwin Diaz also got it on the Dodgers. It's just when like ligaments have just like come off of whatever joint it is and are just floating around in specifically for your elbow, your arm. Like it's just in there. So it causes like a crunching or clicking sound. So that is definitely something that you want to take a look at before it becomes a much more serious injury. So Screwball, we can take a look here. Scott Boras joined the Baseball Tonight podcast. But it looks like, I don't know, just kind of taking a peek at it. The new surgery could potentially shorten the timeline for recovery. So it looks like it was just one loose body. So Scooball should be coming back pretty soon. Obviously, cutting into your elbow, terrible. It's going to take a long time to come back from, especially when you're throwing arm. You get like a little cut right here, and then they just take out a little ligament. But then you have to work that back up so you don't tear open the scar again, or you don't break something else. So hopefully, Scooball will be back soon. I hope Scooball will be back soon because I have him on my fantasy baseball team. But a couple other teams to look at. I mean, the Blue Jays still below 500. Baltimore Orioles also below 500. The Red Sox still really can't seem to get it together. They're 5-5 of their last 10. I think they really want to have a winning record. I can see it. It really seems like they want to play well. It's not happening for them. I'm not really sure. I can't really say what is and what isn't clicking for this team right now because I mean they swept the Tigers over the last week. They lost a series against the Rays. One of the games was postponed. But I mean, yeah, they are so they're very hit and miss. It seems like the Red Sox. So maybe they find a way to break through. The Tigers 19-22, a shocking downfall from last season. Guys, the second best team in the Central right now, the AL Central, are the White Sox. They're 19-21. Who let this happen? What are the script writers on? Like, this is ridiculous. Like we mentioned, the Athletics, first in the AL West, they're 10th in the power rankings. All the other teams have less than 20 wins. Rangers and Mariners, another team fallen from glory. Astros, another team fallen from glory. I want to see the Angels pick it up a little bit just because it looked like they had a hot start to the season, but they've fallen back down. They're 16-25 now. The NL East, outside of the Braves, also looking pretty iffy. The Mets are still mesting, I guess. They're 12.5 games behind. They aren't playing too hot. But the Phillies, Marlins, and Nationals all only have 19 wins right now. I think the Phillies are finally clicking at last. They had a really solid series against the Rockies over the weekend. But again, still below 20 wins. The only division that has more than 3 teams with a winning record right now is the NL Central. Every team has a winning record right now. Cubs, Brewers, Cards, Pirates, Reds. This division is scary. I think the Reds are kind of falling down a little bit. Maybe they pick it back up. I'm not too sure, but they have fallen out of the top 10 in power rankings. They got swept twice in a row by the Pirates and by the Cubs. So not too good, but they did shut out the Astros yesterday on Mother's Day and then won the day before that on Saturday. So potentially this Reds team is Still staying in it. I don't think they're going to get any better than they currently are, but definitely staying in it. They are. And then the NL West, Padres technically on top. I'm not sure why that is. It might be head to head against Dodgers, but I don't think that's right. They haven't played the Dodgers this season. It could just be an auto sorting thing, but yeah, Dodgers and Padres tied for the top spot in the NL West right now. I don't know the Dodgers. I'm worried for this team. I really hope that they can bring it in because I don't know their runs scored per game are slowly dwindling. They just broke 200 over the weekend, whereas other teams like the Cubs, the Braves already have over 200 runs scored. The Yankees also have over 200 runs scored right now. The Diamondbacks in that division only one game away from even. So if the Diamondbacks win, I don't think they do play tonight. If the Diamondbacks win tonight, they will go to even, 20-20. The Giants, Dodgers play them tonight. Giants and Dodgers starting a 4-game series this week. Definitely we'll be talking about that one next week for sure. That'll be one to watch. But I'm hoping the Dodgers just sweep it, take it at home, get a good home series victory. I think they definitely need it, especially after a lot of series lost in a row. And then the Rockies still hanging in there. They're 16-25, tied for the second worst league or second worst record in the league right now. I think there was some early hope. I think we're seeing the typical Rockies again, though. Lost to the Phillies in a blowout, lost 9-3. Got shut out yesterday, 6-0. They only took one game against the Mets. So, and then they lost that series after sweeping them in New York. So kind of funny that the came back and kind of took the way, but they got swept by the Braves at home over last weekend. Is when that game series was, or kind of like into Monday, I think. Lost a series to the Reds that previous week. But the Rockies, I think, they're still hanging in there. They have a lot of great young players who are batting well. TJ Rumfield batting 272. Hunter Goodman, finally, I think, coming back, finding a rhythm, 246. Troy Johnston, 325. Mickey Moniak, 303. Kyle Karros is starting to heat up a little bit, 217. Love Kyle Karros. I'm a Kyle Karros fan. But this Rockies team, I think, they they're staying alive, I guess, but they're not really. I think we talked about this. I don't know when we did, or if it was like an off podcast conversation I had with Steven, but the Rockies really just kind of can't capitalize. I think that's their biggest problem. They get a lot of hits, they get runners on base, they just can never capitalize. The pitchers of the opposing teams always manage to get out of the innings. And I think that's kind of just been the biggest problem for the Rockies this season. So hopefully the Rockies are able to get out of it. So like I said, sorry, this week we'll be watching Giants Dodgers. That'll be our week series. See how that one goes. Let me see if there's anything else interesting. Oh, the Cubs and Braves play this week, so I think that'll be another interesting series to watch. And then moving into the weekend, we got the Freeway Series starting on Friday. The Dodgers and Angels. I always like to look at that. An NL West matchup. The Diamondbacks and the Rockies play this weekend. It looks like what's kind of like Subway Series starting this Friday. The two New York teams will play that, so we'll definitely watch that one. That's for sure. And then probably watch the two Pennsylvania teams, Philadelphia and Pittsburgh, going at it starting this weekend. So we'll take a peek at those matchups next week, but that is going to do it for this episode of Baseball Now. Again, sucks that it was just me today. Wish Steve was here. But that is it for this week. So as always, thank you for watching, listening, however it is. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, all those things wherever you're watching or listening. It is very appreciated. And we'll say this until until we don't need to. We're always looking for help on the podcast. We need some people to, I think maybe now at this point, maybe another co-host to have on the show, since Steven, I think, is getting a little busier, or mine and Steven's schedules aren't aligning as much as we'd like them to. So if you're interested in just hopping on, you can reach out to the Rockies Now Instagram page. We don't have any social media pages, which is another need for us currently. If you want to run a social media page or social media pages for this podcast, we would love that. Reach out to Rockies Now. You can reach out to Steven as well, and he will get you connected with me. But we do need help with that. And if you just know anything kind of like on the production side of things for how the most efficient way to run this, get it uploaded, published to to streaming services, um, that would be greatly appreciated as well. Once again, thank you so much for watching, listening, wherever you're tuning in from. I've been Mason Braggins, and this has been Baseball Now. See you guys next week. Peace out.